So here we are going to work on that third window, and again starting with the base piece that we're going to caulk down. But sometimes you got to catch your helpers because they want to take that piece and put it down the wrong way. So unfortunately my son screwed the wrong side to lead to a rocky bottom, and he's frustrated. But we'll get it done the right way. We'll flip it over. As these are older pieces, there is some curvature associated with them. So let's try two. This is a good just overview of how we had to put in each of these windows. So this kind of in capture what's going on. So we started with the base of doing some caulk. And so we're doing the caulk, so a little bit extra on that baseboard piece. We're using a 2x6 piece of reclaimed pressure treated wood I bought. Again, these are old pieces of wood. The caulk is new, but a lot of the stuff is old. And so we're going to caulk that in place, and then we're going to screw that baseboard down. This will allow our windows to sit on something, and we can actually tack the windows to this. When we put this baseboard in, we're going to screw it to the two posts. Again, extra security. So we're going to secure it on both sides. We're going to put some caulk on the bottom, kind of hold it all in place. So here's the baseboard going in. It's going to cover those areas. We put all that carbon. So we put all that in those holes in the cinder blocks. We packed it with dirt on top, but this will try to hopefully minimize water exposure so water's not getting down into that. Again, it's not waterproof, it's just minimizing the exposure. So we'll go ahead and secure these in. Now with this window is a little bit different. The other two windows you can see on the left, those are our 2x4 construction we created the frame for. This not created a frame for. These actually had a frame with screw holes in them, and what we did need to do is they had big gaps. And so I cut some trim pieces to fit in those gaps, so the screws that are already in the holes in the windows could just go through those trim pieces and then be secured to both sides. Again, we've already dry fitted this, so we know that it's fitting pretty well. So here's the window you can see in the background. That yellow piece is the pieces of wood which are cut to fill in those gaps. And if you look at the edges of the window, there are screws already in place. So we've pre-done the screws because we want them in place. We want it easier to be able to install. Again, you're going to tap it into place, make sure you get a nice secure fit on either side. Helpers are good in this situation. This window, because it doesn't have that 2x4, is a lot harder to clamp. So you really can't clamp it because there's nothing really to grab. The window width was not wide enough to, if we used the clamp, it would almost fall off there. We're using a 3/4 inch, 3 inch to 3.5 inch screw because we want a good purchase through the sides of the window and into those posts. And we're going to start just by screwing in a couple pieces on the side, random directions to kind of balance it out. So you can see I'm holding it in place so they can be attached, trying to make sure the window doesn't move. Because they do move as you're screwing these in. It'd pop out a little bit, or sometimes you had to put a little pressure to hold it into place. So this allows us just to kind of gain purchase in all four corners, and then we can come back and tack it down pretty securely. So we'll go ahead and tack the rest of these pieces down, screwing all the pieces in, good stability. The top of each of these windows, we didn't do at this point, but we will do a 2x4 piece across the top, just like the baseboard piece that we, not a baseboard, but the base piece that we put in. And that will allow each of these windows to be screwed upwards into that structural piece, that transverse piece. And then also this will allow for the posts, it'll connect on either side and help hold them together so they're not going out and away from each other, but also give some structural security. So you really can't do the top there, Thor, but you can do those bottom ones now and get that tacked in. So this is almost a full first wall that we were able to get established. And then we're going to start to work on the next side. We're going to secure some posts in on the other sides and then fill in windows on the south and north side. So this is the third window going in. I hope you guys are enjoying these, and check out the next video and you'll get to see what we're doing up next.